At Lifehack Coaching, we help women over 35 to balance hormones naturally, boost metabolism, and lose weight sustainably. Hey everyone, I've got Tara with me today, and I have been working with Tara on her nutrition for the last maybe 5 months, and Tara lost about 10 kilos, and so here we are. I thought we'll jump on quick podcast and have a chat about how you've been and what have you learned and things like that. So Tara,
Cool. Well,
to tell us a little bit about yourself and why did you reach out to me?
okay, so I'm 49 and I'm a mum of 3 boys and 3 biological boys and a very special bonus boy who lives with us. And I'm a business owner. I run 2 businesses. I'm a portrait photographer and a writer. So I have a very busy life, and my work life keeps me pretty much tied to my desk a lot of the time. So I'm quite sedentary. I find it difficult to make time for exercise in between everything. And I remember being quite open with you about that when we started working together, saying you're going to have a hard time getting me to the gym or any of that. I walk and I dance like once, twice a week, and that's it. So I struggled with weight since I was in my 20s, underweight as a teenager, and had a mother who loved to cook from scratch, so very healthy. She was also vegetarian, so very healthy diet, and then moved out and with my then partner who loved his convenience foods, loved the ready-made chicken tonight sauces and things like that, all the creamy stuff. And I didn't know a thing about nutrition. I didn't know anything about portion sizes or protein versus carbs or any of that stuff. So I just ate what he ate, and I ate it in this portion size that he ate. And I just piled on the weight really, really quickly, got quite big, and then went on to have babies, got bigger. Just before my youngest was born, he was born when I was 39. I managed to lose the weight. So I tried lots of things in between, tried the whole personal trainer and all that stuff. But as you know, like it's 80% diet and 20% exercise or something like that. And I was still eating all the same way. So none of it worked. But then I managed to drop a whole lot of weight before he was born, kept it up for 2 years. And that was through one of those really restrictive eating plans. So that was the only thing before starting to work with you that had worked, but I was very aware that it couldn't possibly be good for my body because
Not
it's
sustainable.
basically like losing like 7 kilos in 3 weeks. So that's not sustainable, and it's got to be hitting your body really, really hard. So I wasn't too keen to go back to that. So when I reached out to you, I was pretty much living on lettuce and boiled eggs, and that was it. So I had learned a lot more about nutrition and tried, but I would try something and then lose 3 kilos, make some positive changes, lose 3 kilos and plateau. And then nothing I could think to do would break the plateau, would get me losing weight again. And then, of course, after like 3 months sitting on the same plateau, you just give up and go, stuff this, it's not going to work. So that's why I reached out. I'm never going to get there on my own, especially now, 49, perimenopausal, things are changing hormone-wise. I was always tired, always napping in the afternoon, just no energy. So I just needed some help.
Yeah. And I remember you told me about that you wanted sustainable weight loss and you didn't want to do diet, that because you've done it and yes, you got results, but then it's all came back. So when we went into the coaching, understanding that it has to be very sustainable, it shouldn't be a massive calorie deficit or anything like that. So it will be a slower process, but we'll get you there. You just wanted to get there, and there was no time frame and no pressure, I guess, to get there, which like, we'll just see how we go and we'll see where we get. So
when I reached out to you, I was also very aware that I had a really full plate. I had lots of big stuff happening on a personal front that meant that I couldn't put everything into it. I had a house move coming up and all sorts of things going on, and stress levels were really high, and just needed, for that reason as well, needed to be just sustainable. It couldn't take all of my focus and all of my attention.
And that's why we just focused on nutrition, nutrition. I didn't keep you accountable to exercise, or I'm not keeping you accountable to any exercise or any affirmations or anything like that. Just just nutrition.
Yes. I am doing the affirmations though on a daily basis, and I'm also not doing as much exercise as I would want to be, but I have been doing the morning movement, which is really good. So that's
Awesome.
I think that's a part of the program that's really lovely, having that start in the morning. So for me, it's like half an hour of Pilates, and that's been great.
That's awesome. So what have you learned during this program? What's the biggest, I guess, apart from the weight loss, what's the biggest benefit that you got from it?
The biggest thing that I've learned is really the importance of, I think, protein. You have some vague awareness if I need carbs, protein, and fats, but the amount of protein you actually need, that was a bit of an eye-opener, because I just thought as long as I have some protein, preferably in every meal, but at least once a day, I'm good.
Yeah.
And no. That's really the thing I need to be reaching for if I'm feeling hungry, rather than the carbs or a carrot or something. I was, like I said, when we first started working together, I was eating mostly veggies and not much else. And now it can be a struggle some days to get in enough protein.
But you're still
just to
managing it,
get there.
even
I
though
am
you're
managing it. I am. It's like the thought of I'm hungry and where's my protein at? Okay, well, I'm actually a little low. Okay, what can I eat that is going to be giving me extra protein, and the understanding of the different levels of protein and different things and all that jazz. That's been the biggest thing, is just the understanding around that and the importance of it.
And having enough protein makes you feel fuller as well. Most of the time, and I know with myself as well, if I'm feeling hungry, I'm like, oh, what did I eat today? And normally protein is always low. I'm like, okay, even though I might not feel it like it right now, because I'm at the point where I'm hungry now and all I want is, I don't know, a tub of ice cream or something. The actual thing that I need is protein.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's great. Do you feel that what you're doing right now is sustainable? Or like if you had to change something, what would you change? Get rid of protein.
No, no. Oh, I do feel it's sustainable. The only thing, I think if you and I stopped working together, I'd slack off on tracking my calories, and that would eventually cause me some problems, because the calorie counting, I didn't want to do it to begin with. And I've got to grudgingly admit it's been really helpful and really important. But I also know I wouldn't continue to do it without the accountability of you checking it. So I think I'd probably end up changing if we weren't working together. That's what I'd end up dropping, not by default. And I know that wouldn't be the ideal.
It's fine, because when you're trying to get somewhere and you've got certain goal, that's when it's important to understand how much you're actually eating. Because I ask my clients to track calories, not because trying to get them into deficit, but because they're actually already under eating. And for me to be able to put them in a calorie deficit, I need them to eat enough in the first place. And if they're actually not eating enough, that calorie deficit wouldn't matter and you won't lose weight. So that's the first priority, is actually understanding and making sure that you eat enough food, and looking at the numbers, you can see, what am I low on? Like, is it protein? Is it fats or carbs? What do I need to improve here? So the longer you do it, the more you kind of become aware of how your plate should look like and how your protein in the day would look like. So you wouldn't be tracking calories all your life. I don't track calories all my life. If I gain some weight for whatever reason, overeating or indulging, not exercising, or whatever reason, it's life, right? It's life. Then I go back into tracking my calories. I go, okay, cool. I need to see what actually going on here. Am I under eating or overeating? I need to understand and then make adjustments based on that. So tracking all your life, can be a little bit obsessive. So we don't want to, it's unhealthy, right? So we don't want to get into those habits, and using a tool to understand what is happening. Yeah. Great.
Yeah.
So what would your advice be to someone who is thinking about starting or just thinking about changing their lifestyle and habits? What would you say?
I would definitely say, and I have said to people, call Anastasia. But I just think I tried for so many years to do it by myself, and I think you're just kind of winging it, and the plateaus are going to happen. They're going to happen. They're still happening. They've happened while we've worked together. But instead of getting discouraged and giving up like I normally would have done, because I had no idea what to look for and how to figure out what's happening, having somebody actually look at that for me and having that understanding of, okay, well, it could be this, it could be that. Where are you at in your cycle? What's happening with the role inflammation plays in weight loss and weight gain and all of that jazz. It's just that understanding is invaluable, and whatever happened, I'll walk away with that. But I think it's really valuable to, even if it's for a little while, to have somebody walk beside you like you to teach you that stuff, and so that you can move forward and just have a better understanding of your body and how it all fits together and how it all works, not just for weight but for health and energy, all that stuff.
It's good to have someone, and there's so much information out there, so much, and it can be quite overwhelming, and sometimes it's good to get someone to help you just like clean it out and see which out of those information is applicable to you, because everyone is different.
Exactly.
There's no size fits all. So you shouldn't be following specific diet, because it's not about dieting. It's about choosing balanced lifestyle. Right?
Yeah. And it's also like the reason you could be not losing weight could be because you're under eating instead of overeating. So, and if you're just having to guess at that and you're cutting back on things, then you're actually making it worse. Whereas if you don't know and you assume that you're under eating, and then you start increasing your calories, and that could be just as unhelpful.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much, Tara, for jumping on call with me here today. It was nice to have you here. Really appreciate your time and sharing your experience with us.
Oh, you're welcome. And thank you for all your help.
If you have any questions about this podcast or about hormones, weight loss, or just healthier lifestyle, please go to our website at lifehackcoaching.co.nz, or feel free to email me directly, Anastasia, at lifehackcoaching.co.nz.